Hey everyone, my name is Mochi, and today we're going to be starting a brand new playthrough of Mewgenics. Now, if you've seen my last two Mewgenics playthrough videos and you're waiting for the third part, I'm so sorry. I've played like 80 hours of the game in between the last video and now, but in that time I've learned a lot about the game's mechanics. I've learned how to perfect breeding basically and put out those videos. That's probably how you found me. And I'm kind of probably very far away from where I left my skills and knowledge in that first playthrough. So we're going to be starting a brand new playthrough today. And what's the goal of this playthrough? It's not blind. So I'm going to be playing this playthrough at my highest ability. I'm going to be not focused on story, more so focused on how well I can min-max the game and apply my strategies and talk about my tactical thinking. So if you're into that kind of stuff, please stick around. I'm sure it's going to be fun. If you're looking for a blind playthrough, I am so sorry. I am not your guy. Science. Scared you, didn't I? I know how scary a buzzword like science can be these days. But trust me when I say science can actually be a good thing sometimes. Take this table, for instance. A science made this table and the floor it sits on. There are even people out there who believe that a science made you and I. But I digress. The point I was trying to make here is that cats are a science too. A science that I, Thomas A. Beanies, invented. But what do you have to do with all this? Well, word on the street is you're a bit of a felinologist yourself. I know we just met, but I bet if you and I put our brains together, we could actually change the world. With cats. Now, take a gander at these fine specimens. This is my latest batch, straight out of their biovats. So, I will be skipping the tutorial once it starts, but I am going to read all the NPC dialogue. I think the writing in this game is so funny, so I don't mind going through it again. Who are we going to choose out of these three cats? Maru-chan? You have a cute name. I'll pick you. Ooh, what a sultry voice. Kabir. Meow. I'm gonna pick you. What's wrong with Kotufa? Honestly, just bad vibes. I didn't expect you to pass on the best of the bunch. Whatever, their pieces will be put to good use. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Kotufa. He got hit by a bazooka. Isn't nature just cruel? But it doesn't have to be. In fact, I think with my brains and your ability to choose less than ideal cats. He's saying that now, wait till he sees my breeding system. We could really shake things up. Hell, with enough cats, I bet you could even reverse time, maybe even make dying impossible. All I need is a nuke, radioactive blood, and a bit of elbow grease. Don't worry, I'll be sure to harvest some from Kotufa's elbows before she's incinerated. Now go, my child. Go into the world and hoard some cats. Alright, so the game's going to give us a little tutorial. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the tutorial. I think if you're playing for the first time, it's good to do. I don't like that they force you to auto-injure a cat. And also, Butch is a little annoying. So please, I'm going to apologize, but I'm going to skip the tutorial. It's a little bit too slow to do a second time for me. The normal cats will return home. So initially, when I created my breeding system, I had designated this room as the breeding room and the attic as the royal family room because I had rationalized in my mind that a triangle and a square basically, I mean, not right now, but once the attic is the size of two rooms, I just said, you know what, a triangle and a square and two squares, they basically, what am I trying to say? The area is the same. I'm trying to say that the area was going to be the same, but someone brought up a really good point, which is that there's actually more floor space in the attic, which will make it easier for you to put more items in it. So moving forward, my attic will be my breeding room, and this will be my royal family room. If you haven't watched my guide, you might be saying, what are you talking about? Don't worry, I'll explain. Kabir got it on with Maru-chan and made a kitten. And here's a stray. So basically in this early game, I don't like to keep any of these cats, but I guess I forgot. You don't really have access to much right at the start of the game. Now, Pool, you have a 7 in your stat line, which means that I'm not even going to want to send you on an adventure. I'm going to want to breed you. But I think the game will force us to send you on an adventure. Lauren, you also have a 7. Oh my god, is streamer luck real? Probably. Kabir got it on with Maru-chan and made a kitten. Let's look at the quality of this kitten. Perusha. Now you have inherited a 7, so we'll use you in the breeding world. Do I have enough cats to send on adventures? I do. I don't really want to send cats that have 7s. Like, I don't want to send you, I don't want to send you, and I don't want to send you. But also, you know what? We don't really run a risk of losing these cats. Well, let's do it. Let's just unlock the next part of the game. Now, class selection. You might want to min-max your cats, and sometimes it's appropriate, for example, to pick a cat that has the highest strength and just throw the fighter collar on him. However, constitution and speed are very important. So actually, in this case, fighter is great because it bumps your speed up to 4. I don't want to ever go below 4 speed unless maybe it's the hunter. You have roll, which is going to help you in mobility. Your int is low, that's fine. Honestly, this is kind of goated for a day 1 stray. You have good range, you have low constitution. You're basically, I'm immediately thinking that you're going to be a hunter. You can also swat it back a unit and put them into your range. Let's see what else we're working with here. Now you have low intelligence, low dex. You have okay speed and luck. You might be a good tank. You also have heal when you fall asleep. And then you also have a low intelligence. So our mage is going to be kind of in a bad situation. But I will say the mage's main attack scales off of your dexterity, I think. So technically, I think it'd be better for it to be on you, because I think you would only do 4 damage. I want my units to all do a minimum of 5 damage. I feel like the first area is balanced off of that. So you're going to get this just so you can do 5 damage. Actually, hold up. You have better int and charisma and do 5 damage. I was originally thinking that you'd be my hunter, but actually, this might be a better mage. And the hunter will give us 3 dex. So this can make up for your 4 dex. Obviously, we would love it if this cat had 5 dex, but I think this will work out fine, actually. And then lastly, you could be my tank. I think this is good enough. Let's see what everybody got. Our hunter got flea shot. I like flea shot. I don't really care too much for the flea. I just like being able to do an extra 3 damage. Rubber arrows is one of my favorite archer or ranger abilities. Basically, you get to double your damage output. That's a great stat. Being able to double your damage output is an amazing passive. Now, obviously, this only doubles it if there's another enemy nearby, but most of the time, there's another enemy nearby. The fact that both of these are shots and will both get rubber arrows means that our ranger is incredibly strong. You have Chew. Now, Chew is an incredible ability because, 1, it's only 5 mana, which means, I mean, your intelligence is abysmal. But, you know, if this run was continuing past Alleyway, your intelligence would probably get upgraded to 5 at some point. You could dish out 10 damage a turn. That's pretty good for a tank, in my opinion. Hardy is also good because we don't need a healer. Spin is an incredible ability. Attack everything around you 3 times. This does 6 damage to 1 enemy. You can easily do 12 damage if there's 2 enemies. Whenever you take damage, gain +2 movement. You know, our movement's a little low, so this might be relevant. We also have roll. This is a pretty decent roll as well. We're pretty lucky. And Frost Blast. Now, Frost Blast, I'm not crazy about. Shooting a blast of ice like freezes the first unit. It can save a unit who's about to take a lot of damage. It can also CC an enemy for 1 turn. If we run into Queen Hippo, this will be good. I don't think you'd run into Queen Hippo on your first Alleyway run, but if we did, this would be great. Your basic attack deals +1 electrical damage and has a 10% chance to stun. I would say that this is an incredible group of cats. You are the Fluffy Lunks. This is my first adventure, and you guys are all iconic. All right. Let's talk about the alley. Now, in my opinion, the alley is designed to be beaten with strays with random abilities. It is the most forgiving place you'll go to, obviously. It's the first place. But I think that it sets people up poorly for Act 2. Once you get to Act 2 and you encounter the desert, you're like, whoa, this is not like the alley at all. No, the alley is meant to be designed by any single combination of cats that you have in your party. It requires zero preparation, it requires zero items. All it requires is a little bit of strategical work. Now, what are we dealing with in this room? It's an interesting room. We have these two areas that are kind of like pockets you could go into. If you break this poop, you could collect a lot of coins. If you break this, you could break the trash and the garbage. There's a lot of items that you could pick up. It might even be worth picking up these items instead of ending the combat early. You also have leapers. Now, the thing about leapers is they're going to attack everything kind of in like a cross pattern. So you want to make sure your characters are not too stacked up to each other. Taking 1/5 damage hit from a tank is great. Having two characters get hit by one attack, especially when there's 3 of them. I mean, you could think of that as like these guys are going to do 15 damage to your party in total minimum. If your characters are too close to each other, they're going to do more. Obviously, we don't have to be inside of their range. The way this is set up, we can easily occupy this little space right here and be safe from all of the threats. So let's do that. We're going to let them come to us. One thing I should have mentioned is sometimes enemies will move twice in a turn, and you should always check that. I didn't because I was being a little bit lazy, but be better than me. We're going to obviously keep Nikusha, who has only 12 HP. God, I've been playing with cats that have all 7s for so long. I haven't seen a character with 12 HP in a while. Now, I might have misplayed there. No, our range is just, our movement's just really bad. So there we go. This is how we've moved. We're all safe. No one's getting attacked. Now we can burst out a lot of damage, especially with our hunter who has bounce shot. Always prioritize, unless there's another enemy that is going to ruin your room. If all enemies are equal, always prioritize the ones that have higher initiative so that you can get to your other cats. This guy, we don't have to worry about. This guy, we do have to worry about. And if we kill this guy, we might be able to get to this guy. So, how do we do that? Well, I think one very easy solution is to do a push attack. This will kill him and then break his corpse. It did not break his corpse. Did not break his corpse. Now, our tank is very vulnerable here, but they're also our tank. This guy, it'd be nice to kill him. Is it necessary? Well, as long as our characters aren't stacked up, I would say no. He's going to hit somebody for 5 damage. We're going to position ourselves in a way where it's just 5 damage. We're going to save our mana. No reason to break that corpse. Now, we could put our mage here to take out this guy. We could put our fighter. How much damage is he doing again? You should have enough damage between his 2 attacks. We'll put our fighter. Hold up, chat. We don't have to remove this guy. But we don't really have a lot of other options, so let's just do that. Now, I will say this. Now this guy is going to jump here and hit 2 of our guys because I totally forgot the lesson I was just trying to impart to you, which is not to stack up our characters. So this is what happens when you don't take your own advice. I cannot believe that I was like, I'm going to make a high-level tactical guide to this game. My memory is way too bad. It's like I know so many things in theory, and then once I'm like talking to a camera, it's gone from my brain. Let's just get rid of you. So we've taken a total of 15 damage in our party, and it was unnecessary. So it's technically not good. We have 10 mana, so we can use Chew twice. Chew will kill this. Chew will not kill this, but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we do something like Chew. Okay, it did crit. Use your ability to move one space and then chew this rat. Now, on average, if you're in Act 1, you're gonna heal like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 damage per room. So you can take 5 damage. 5 damage is free. Dash forward with trample, then spawn a rock. 6 mana. We have 3 int. We don't want a 6 mana spell when we have 3 int. Bodyguard. 2 mana spell. The next time an ally is targeted by an enemy, switch places with the ally. Now, we fully heal at the end of each battle, so it doesn't matter how much damage we take. Meaning Bodyguard is pretty OP with this setup. We can tank all the hits of our team, and it won't even affect us. Pretty good. I'll be honest, I actually do not like doing these when I don't have a green check. I don't want to put bleeding on my hunter, for example. The way these work, by the way, from my understanding, is that every option that you see here basically rolls a dice. And whatever you'll get bonuses to that roll based off of whether you have high stats, or you'll have negatives to that roll based off of if you have low stats. And kind of like in D&D, you can critically fail, which is a really bad outcome. You can fail, which is a bad outcome. You can pass, which is either no outcome or a slightly good outcome, or you can critically succeed, which is like you get something amazing, like all your stats up. We're gonna ignore this because I don't like to roll the dice if I don't have anything weighing the dice. Now this is an interesting room because we start with all of our characters in the center. We have a Tom-Tom. Tom-Toms are kind of like walking tanks. They don't move very far, but they do 6 damage and they attack in a wide range. They'll hit 3 tiles. This is like an enemy that you just kind of kite until you're ready to kill them. These little guys are your priority. Same with this Pooterfly. We don't worry about him. We'll get him later. The only thing that is a little bit of an exception is that killing birds, in my opinion, is always worth it. Not if it's going to ruin your run, but it's basically free items, and items can be really good. These stats up doesn't really matter. So I mean, I could try to hit this bird and start tanking damage with my tank. If I do that, this cat will not be able to hit us. This cat will not be able to hit us. This cat has already moved, so we don't have to worry about it. This Pooter can't hit us, so we're safe for this turn. No one can hit us. The question then is, do I set up to start killing these guys, or do I greed the bird? I'm gonna greed the bird. My tank is so tanky and so powerful that I think it's worth it. There we go. We got a piece of armor. I'm also gonna just use Bodyguard now. I don't need it for this turn. So you know what? I changed my mind. I'm not gonna use it. I might need that mana later. I'm guy who's trying to give instructions, learning as he goes. I am learning as I go. All of us are always learning. Like, I made the good breeding guides, but I'm not going to tell you that I'm the greatest strategy gamer in the world. Not even close. I'm always just doing my best. Now, I can kill this kitten, and I think my mage is safe standing here. The only thing they're not safe to is the Pooterfly. Actually, maybe what I do is I move my mage, who only has 10 HP over here, to kill the Pooterfly, keeping it out of the distance of this kitten, who will be able to go before we can remove it. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about, chat. Now, we were lucky to get missed there. I don't really want to fight the Tom-Tom in the tall grass. I could potentially kill it with 2 chews and a push attack, but a tall grass has a 50% chance to dodge. I doubt I'm going to hit all 3. That would be very unlikely. So I think what I'll do is I'll just move out of his range so that he has to leave the tall grass, and then we'll kill him next turn. Now, in situations like this where you have 2 more enemies left and you have them under your control, it's a great time to look for things like coins. I don't have any in my reach. However, I can start moving towards this direction. You can pick up a coin and you can kill this cat. You can pick up a coin and we can wait. Am I a fool? If I wasn't a fool, I would have moved one more space. Alright, let's start with Chew. We don't want to push the enemy out of our range. Like, it doesn't matter. And you know what? I'm going to actually pick up these coins. The thing is, so you get a bonus depending on how quickly you beat the round. However, it's whichever round you're on is what determines the bonus. So if I ended this fight with my tank, it would be no better in terms of rewards than if I end the fight with my hunter. So turns like this, great time to pick up bonus coins. In fact, we're going to probably do that with our fighter and then just end this with our hunter. Awesome. Couple misplays there. Honestly, not very punishing, but, you know, stuff to note. You gotta admit when you make misplays. We have 7 intelligence. Cast a whirlpool that spins units and inflicts confusion. Seems useful. In fact, part of a CC build. This will make him wet. This will have a higher chance to freeze him. This will shock him. I like the elemental synergy. It feels like I'm playing Divinity Original Sin. Chaos Teleport. Also a great ability for getting out of trouble. Shatter. A melee attack that instantly kills frozen units. If used on a boss, it removes frozen, deals 15 damage, and inflicts slow 2. Really great with Frost Blast. The problem, however, the reason I'm not going to take it, is that to get both of these off in one turn, I would need 8 mana. Obviously, with 9 charisma, I'm going to have a surplus of mana at the start. But I like the idea of just casting Whirlpool. But you know, I don't think Whirlpool does damage. This is the kind of stuff you think about. You're like, I could cast Whirlpool every turn, but all it does is inflict confusion and move units around. Maybe a little knockback damage. Now, I can't cast Shatter and Shatter and Frost Blast together on my average turn. However, with 9 charisma, I could cast it on turn 1. I could cast it again on turn 2. After that, I would lose the ability of this combo. However, there are some annoying enemies like Tom-Toms that being able to one-shot them, being able to do like, let's say it's 15 damage to a Tom-Tom. Let's say it's a champion version of a Tom-Tom with double health, doing 30 damage in one turn. Pretty good. Alright. I've convinced myself. Probably unlikely to see any value like that on... Now, I'm less inclined... Normally you give this to the tank. Sorry, you're less likely to see the value of that combo on Ally, but... especially Ally Easy Pass. But I'm still trying to make the best decisions I can. +1 armor, +1 brace. You would normally give that to your tank. However, my tank has the ability to fully heal, so he doesn't really need armor or brace. I think I'd rather give it to my fighter, who is also in melee range, but not as tanky. And sure, you can have this too. An item like this, that's fragile, flammable, brittle when wet. Just equip it. If it gets destroyed, it doesn't matter. It's not a rare item. It's meant to be put on and then destroyed. Broken Window is a decent item if I remember correctly. +3 Bleed Thorns. Now that's an amazing item on my tank. Wow. Pretty lucky first run. If it's green, I do it. Mafate proudly displays her trophies to the other cats. That is an example of passing something, but not getting anything from it. What you get is just the fact that you passed. Okay, Magnus Carlson. This is an interesting boss because he's gonna hit you and you're gonna take damage. The thing you want to avoid is him chain hitting you, because I think he does a chaining dash attack and a spin attack. How does a chaining dash attack work? Well, wherever his attack ends, if he has line of sight on another character, he will continue the dash. Same with the spinning attack, I think. If he ends beside 2 characters, he'll do it twice. Now I don't mind him hitting and beating my tank up, so I'm gonna go after this bird. Okay, and I'm gonna pop my bodyguard early. Even though this guy has very small movement. Doing 15 damage to him is not bad. So I believe that this attack marker is not accurate. With a dash attack, I believe anywhere he ends his turn, he has a straight shot at you. So if I put my mage here, for example, he could move here, and I think he could dash attack my mage. That's my understanding. Obviously, this is not a boss guide, so I might be wrong. I need to face this boss way more times. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my mage here because he will be protected by my tank. Now, he doesn't have chain knockback, just a chain dash attack. So my tank is kind of body blocking that. See how he hit my tank and then he chained in this direction? If my mage had been here, it actually would have been a disaster. Same thing, if I move my fighter here, we're risking the chain attacks. So I'm trying to think, like I want to obviously move my fighter closer. I think we're safe right here. I could also pop roll and I could get right in his face and corner him. This is going to stop him from actually chaining anything into my team. And we have a great shot at you. Alright. Look how much bleed he has. Bodyguard worked incredibly well there with the bleed thorns. Bleed triggers at the end of the round. I almost want to just keep my tank here because I think if we chew, we don't have to worry about damage. Wow. I should have moved my tank out of the way so that my mage could have finished the job. Can I move you here? Yes. Never mind. We're all good. One thing I like about this game is no matter how good you are at strategy, there are so many interactions in here that it's going to like take you a while before you really understand how every turn is going to play out. Because like, I wasn't expecting to put 22 bleed on him. I was expecting to put a good amount of bleed on him, but I was not expecting 22 bleed. I had 3 bleed thorns. So what? That means that I hit him a minimum of 7 times. He hit me a minimum of 7 times. I guess that spin attack. And then maybe just like, how did he get 22 bleed? That's not a multiple of 3. I don't know. I'll have to maybe watch it back. Confront can be okay. It's too much mana for us. We don't need tumble because we already have roll. Next time an enemy moves through an adjacent tile, cancel its movement and attack it. Sucker Punch could be good. I would normally recommend taking the hard path, but we don't have it unlocked. We want to kiss or bash? Let's bash. I got an eye worm. That's not good. What does that do? 10% mischance, 25% chance to equip a piece of grub armor at the start of each battle. This will destroy any armor it replaces. That's terrible. So we're going to get more and more infested. Let's unequip the broken window. I don't want to destroy the broken window. It's a great item. I should have spoke about it. We equipped Sparkles, which emits 4 1 damage attacks that hit any unit on the field. I think it's random. So we hit some of these, what are they called? Kittens, and they ran away. These Tom-Toms are tough, and they're going to slowly approach us. So in a room like this, where you have these tanky, slow units coming at you, you let them come to you. You don't have to go up there. You're going to use your range to slowly whittle them down, and you're going to be saving up your mana as you wait for them to approach you, and then you're going to burst them down. This kitten has a lot more speed, but see how there's these rocks placed around? It's exactly so that you can start taking these guys out without having to move closer. Now, we don't have any more plays with the rocks, but we are completely safe from the range of these kittens. So I might just move you on this side, get you closer to killing those kittens. Now, we do have our freeze shatter combo. Getting you into range of this tom-tom, or sorry, not into range, just out of it, would let us hit you, and there's a chance we kill a kitten. I like that. We'll move you backwards next turn. There you go. And lastly, you. We'll move you up like one tile. Save your mana. So these tom-toms will still take a whole other turn to get to us. Same with this kitten. So we could either put our tank here and start fighting the tom-toms, or we could be patient. The only question is, if we were to approach these tom-toms, would we finish the round in round 2 and get slightly better rewards? I don't think so. If that's the case, why not just be patient? We could also hit this rock to hit this guy. But I'm just gonna put my tank here and wait. I could also pull a pickup towards us. I should have been doing that every turn. Why not? It's free. Let's get rid of you with Please Shot. Let's hit you. Then let's back up safely. Now, this might seem like coward strats, but I would argue that I messed up because my ranger was blocking this unit's movement. That's okay, because our fighter can go there and tank it, but I wasn't considering, when I was looking at the movement of this character, how much of his movement was being prevented by my ranger. Now, I can do something like this. And this is why movement skills are so important. I can kill him, puts me in danger of getting hit by this tom-tom, but now I can roll away, and we're all good. Never punished. Alright, I think it's time we put an end to this. Pick up some money. We'll chew ya. And look how much mana we have. The benefit to being patient in these rooms where you have these big tanky enemies is that you're not actually like really delaying how much damage you're going to do to the enemies. You're actually just saving it up for one big turn of burst damage. As long as you have damaging spells, then that's true. I hope you guys are enjoying me overthinking, making a couple mistakes, but, you know, look, I'm not perfect, but I think I'm decent. A range shot that heals and inflicts charmed. Now, that's interesting, because we don't have a healer right now, and you could argue that this is actually great if you don't have a healer. I also like spawning a bramble tile. Bramble tiles do damage, and they also slow down the movement of the person who's on it. Tactical retreat is also good as movement tech, but since we only have 4 intelligence and that won't be upgraded, let's just take summon brambles. Sure, let's investigate you. I think you have a chance of mutating us. Yes. Let's see what we're dealing with. We already have our first mutation. -2 speed. You know what? I think this is the same mutation it gave us last time. Maybe I don't ever want to be mutated by Steven. Colorless mana spells cost -1 mana. -2 speed is absolutely brutal in my opinion. Now, if you're trying to make any real progress, you always buy rare candy, but we will be leaving. I don't hate trowel, to be honest. Trowel's a good item on certain tank builds. Since we're leaving here, I'm kind of inclined to not take the rare candy. We're going to have an easy time beating the boss. We don't really need a 1 extra level. This will save us 10 gold. And trowel's an okay item, but let's just save our money. We can buy furniture so we can create a good breeding setup. Hello, Radical Rat. Now, this is a boss that I feel like you do not need a guide for, because the boss will spawn a bomb every turn, and then you're going to destroy the bomb. I mean, one of the best things you can do is just try to surround the boss. Make sure your characters are not overly spread out, so that any bombs thrown at them you can defuse, right? Like if I put my tank over here and all my other guys went to this side, there's actually a chance that I wouldn't be able to defuse the bomb they throw. So it's actually better to approach the boss slow and steady. But also to not be too stacked up. Basically, do like a slow approach where you're all in range of each other to be able to defuse bombs, but you're also still covering an okay amount of ground. I like the idea of coming all the way out here. Remember the thing I warned you about? We're gonna get hit. Ultimately, it's fine. 10 damage is fine, but the problem is it's gonna also ignite this place on fire. It's also gonna blow up this bomb. So what we can do is we can at least destroy this bomb to reduce the amount of damage we're about to take. If we let this hit this bomb, it would create another explosion. They would all take 20 damage. They're gonna take 10 damage, which is not ideal, but it could have been worse. We still can't hit the boss, but we're getting closer. It would be so funny if I lose to Radical Rat. It would be also my first time. All right. Let's see, what can we do here? I think some brambles would slow him down. I think a flea shot would also corner him, so let's do that instead. My poor mage. Are you on fire? You're not on fire. The range for his bombs, I don't actually know how far he can throw them. It seems like he has maybe like a range of 3. I have another bomb that I'm not going to be able to defuse. What did I do wrong here? Well, part of the problem is I have -2 speed, so this guy is not really able to get around the battlefield. He also cannot go through this fire without dying, so you're also going to take damage. Speed is so important in this game because look how far my dude has moved. He's like barely in the arena. All right. This is rough. I'm kind of like, maybe I do need to make a guide for this boss for myself, just so I can maybe like think a little bit harder on this boss. I'm so used to taking it for granted that this boss is not a threat, but right now I'm in like one of the worst situations I've ever been in against this boss. Now, I do need to move a little bit here. I guess flea shot on the boss to spawn the flea beside the boss. Finally, one that's in range of my mage. Good, good, good. All right. If I could get my mage in a place where it could freeze and shatter the boss, it'd be nice. Now the boss is on fire, so it's not going to freeze. But, you know, I think we're fine. Ultimately, we're fine. I'm a little bit embarrassed at how rough that was. I'm sorry to kill that flea, but... you know, we didn't panic and we were able to handle it. Now, knockback you deal is increased by 10. I like that ability. We only have our main attack for knockback. Knockback immunity, tiles you walk over become dirt and spawn rocks. That would be really great. With a rock build, we don't have anything like that. These, these are okay. I don't really like the worm familiars. They're not strong enough for me. Let's just take home run. It gives us some ability to rearrange enemies. Take 1 damage and cleanse a random debuff. Now that is a good item against certain bosses. Big stick is okay. Let's head home. I'm gonna talk to the NPCs, maybe set up our house a little bit, and then we're gonna call it a day. Rough, I mean, really lucky kills, and then some rough performance on my part, to be honest. Not feeling great about that. But they all survived, which means they'll all be able to breed the next generation of cats that have multiple 7s in their stats. Oh, it's raining again. Rain is a spooky one. I think it rained because we did bad things. The rain man sees what we did be doing, and he tells on us. We are Frank, and we live under your house. I bet you hear us scratching. It's itchy down here sometimes. Sometimes we like being itchy, because being itchy makes us work harder. Bet you didn't know Frank builded your house. No lying. We make them houses as fast as we make brown. Ha 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 ha. We are just kidding. When the joke doesn't land, awkward. But really, we love to build, so if you're gonna have more house made, just ask Frank. Frank do need to be paid though. We don't work for kisses no more. Frank wants cat friends. See the pipe over there? The pipe goes all over the place. You want to send a kitty out? Push him down the pipe and bam, he goes. We don't want any kitty though, only retired cats. Frank thinks we like retired cats because we're kind of retired too. Alright, well, good night. So, we got to make sure not to send any of our cats that have 7s. Let's talk to Butch. Butch, what do you want? Yeah, new caller for me called Cleric. Great, our first support class. I mean, in a way, Mage is a little bit of a support class in this game. You've got a lot of manipulation of tiles. You have CC. It might be more of a support class than a DPS class. I don't know. It's a little bit... Not that they can't do DPS, but I guess it depends on how you build them. Okay, we gotta send someone to Frank. Who are we gonna send to Frank? Someone who does not have a 7 in their stats. Now, I'm realizing, because we can't see people's base stats, I should have kept track of who had the 7s. We can think about what skills people get. Like, Fighter gets Strength. Strength and Speed. So, you had a 7 in Constitution. This is a way that you could kind of reverse engineer the stats, I guess. On your first run, at least, when you don't, like, level up your stats. Lauren, you got Con, and you got... So you had a 7 speed. Okay. You have 7 speed. You have 7 Con. Cool. You had 7 luck. Oh my god, I had a great team. Maru-chan, you were my average cat, weren't you? Oh wait, Maru-chan, you have a 7 in intelligence without a collar? Why are all my cats so good? Kabir, are you the one? Does everyone have a 7? I'm losing my mind here. Nakusha, what's your deal? You had +2 int, so you had a 5 int, +2 charisma, so you had 7 charisma? There's no way. There's no way all my cats were this good. I don't want to pass this mutation down though, so let's get rid of you. Were all my cats 7 cats? That seems very unlikely. Frank was just waiting for you down here. Good job on sending that cat to us. He's slow, so when he runs, we can still get him. Frank's slow, but no one seems to get us. Frank's getting so itchy, I think we're ready to build. You know that house on top of your house, the one with the point? Well, Frank's gonna build it. You just wait and see. I won't crush you or nothing. Thanks, Frank. We're gonna have access to our attic now. Once we end today, we're gonna take you in, just to send you on a mission. I feel like one of my cats didn't have a 7, but now I've lost track of who it was. You had a 7. There's just no way that you all had 7s. That just seems so crazy. +4 con. You had a 7 speed? Really? Okay, you know what? This is why we need to upgrade Tink ASAP. Let's end our day. Alright, here's gonna be our breeding room. Let's start with the cats that we know have 7s. We know you have a 7. You might have had a... I feel like you had a 6 strength. How did you get to 9? I mean, we'll put you up there just in case. I guess we'll find out from the children of these cats if they have true 7s and I'm doing my calculations correct, or if they're fake, right? Once they have a kid, if they have a few kids that don't have 7s, we'll know that they're not real. Do you really have a 7 strength? Or is it partly your parasite? 7 luck. I should have wrote this down, eh? Maruchan, you have 7 intelligence. Hold up, Maruchan. You're a colorless cat. Alright, let's put you all up here to breed. Let's take in these guys. They're going to go on our next mission. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Like, we're still so early. So it looks like that sewer monster man built you a pipe. Well, don't feel too special. I got one too. Hey, that gives me an idea. How about you and I go into business together? You send me cats with combat experience and I let you kiss me. Behind the dumpster over there. What do you mean, no? Well, yeah. What about I expand that little box of yours, then? I'm talking about that box by your house, sicko. Can upgrade that old shoebox for you. That way you can hold more sharp objects, which is one of the priorities in this game. I mean, all the NPCs are very important to level up. Tink as well. But I'll say in terms of progressing the story and progressing the zones, which is very important. Everyone's talking about you around the town. Hey, there goes that so-and-so. Aren't they a catch? They got brains and buns. And I'm like, thanks, girl. But did you hear about that newbie in town who's been hoarding all the cats? And then they're like, yeah, I heard about them. But what's with this I hear about? This book deal you landed? And I'm all like, leave me alone, stalker. Lol. Gosh, people these days are so nosy, right? Anyway, what's this about you and I being pipe buddies? You know I can hear you talking in your sleep through that thing, right? You old perv, my wife made me cover the pipe with a quilt. She was so embarrassed. But listen, I need a baby. I have this empty hole in my heart. See, my wife and I, we just can't have children of our own. But we have to decide to start a cat family, and guess who the father is? It's you, silly. I'd be honored to, Tink. As long as you keep paying me money, I'll not stop sending you cats. Don't send you any uggos. Okay, great.
And it reminds me if anyone wants to PayPal me for groceries, I'm totally down with it.
All right, we gotta send a kitten to Butch, and we gotta send a cat with combat experience. Now, these cats all have 7s allegedly, but I think we have 2 cats that have 7 intelligence. I think I'm wrong. All right. Any other shared 7s? You had a 7 con. You have a 7 con. Why don't we get rid of you? This will upgrade our storage space. I shouldn't worry too much about the breeding stuff this early. I don't even have like breeding furniture. You're gonna need to venture into the sewers and junkyard for his next cats. Sorry, I should have read all that. All right. Let us end the day. See what happens. Archon started a fight with Laura and there were no winners. Fighting can be okay. It's a great way to buff your cats, but you don't want your like breeding cats to be fighting. In fact, let's do something about that. No, we don't have access to our furniture yet. Okay, so here's the gameplay loop. Basically, we're going to put all of our cats that have 7s up here in the breeding room with stimulation furniture. Down here, we're going to keep the rest of our cats who are going to go out on adventures. These are just like cats like Varjak over here who are unexceptional. Once we have 4 of them, we're going to put them on an adventure. These cats, we want them to breed with each other, but they're not going to. You know what, Lauren, you have a parasite. We're going to get rid of you. I just don't want the comfort to be in the negatives here. I don't want them fighting. Right, let's end the day. Raiden got on with Bootsy and made a kitten. Aiko. Gene Aiko? The goat? You have great stats. I mean, not great stats, but you have good stats for a child of this room. Alright, we got 4 cats. All that are unexceptional. They're all going to go on our next adventure. Aiko, you have great stats, but until... Here's what I'll say. Until you max out, or at least until you get Tink to his next level, not this one, the one after this, I would say give away all your kittens. It's very important to unlock the ability to see your cat's base stats. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have no idea how much this little guy means to us. About your payment, I'm a bit at a loss here. Here, take this little bow, I guess. It may seem useless now, but in the right light, the color is just to die for. Seriously, this bow could make God cry. Don't you dare throw it away. You can leave now. Oh, but don't forget to keep sending me kittens, Toodles. Actually, I've been avoiding all spoilers, so I don't know what the bow does, but I assume you have to take it somewhere. Like, take it to an act or something like that. Alright, we're going to call it here. Next episode, we're going to send this group of Chuba, Bootsy, Varjik, and Brayden onto an adventure. And we're going to hopefully come back and be able to get some furniture items. I don't remember when that unlocks, but it unlocks pretty soon. Thanks for checking out this video. If you found me from the guide, thanks for sticking around to watch some of my other content. I'm excited to see just what we can do with the save file. Here's my personal idea. I'd like to 100% the game, but obviously that is a long and arduous task. We'll see how long we can go for, and we'll see how quickly we can do it, but we're gonna find that out. So thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Peace.